It's gone 6 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Good afternoon and welcome to The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebohole Kuleni, and Matsheko Mosito. It's our final day at sea this afternoon, and as I'm speaking to you, the next voyage has just left. The MSC Opera Cruise or ship has just left the Durban harbour. This morning we had to get off the ship after 4 days on the Indian Ocean. Listen, we experienced some rough weathers and rough winds and waves. The last 2 days have been absolutely pleasant. So we got off the ship this morning, and as we left, a new group were getting on board, and they have just sailed off. They're heading off to the Portuguese island. So if you are looking to experience an MSC cruise for the very first time, go on to MSC Cruise, MSC South Africa, and check out all the packages and upcoming tours that they have lined up, from Durban to Mozambique to Cape Town to Namibia, and even around the world. They have got you covered. And we'll be reflecting on some of our favorite moments from this past week with you on The Upside this afternoon. But here's what's coming up this afternoon on The Upside. We get into conversation with Don Andre. He's got a show that he is re-releasing on YouTube. It's titled Unemployed But Funny, all the way from Uganda. He's a stand-up comedian. And then later on, we are joined in studio by DJ Lane. Over a decade being an inspirational producer in Afro and soulful, or Afro soul and soulful music. I tell you what, I am looking forward, most importantly, to the conversation we are going to have with Lady Zamar. Not to say our other conversations are not important, but I'm looking forward to Lady Zamar's conversation, because she is going to be unveiling her Emperor Eclipse Realm One Awakening. It's a project that is Afrobeat led, and she'll be joining Matsheko Mosito online to chat about this project and what we can look forward to. But an exciting show nonetheless coming up this afternoon on The Upside. Matsheko Mosito, how you doing? All right, it's 9 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Matsheko Mosito is going to give me the latest on what she's been getting up to there in studio, because I know her and her snacks. I've been missing her almonds and healthy snacks. I have not been eating clean over the past couple of days. Don't blame me. We've been eating like buffet-style food, all you can eat. So please don't blame me and don't judge me. It's 9 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Our conversation with Ugandan comedian Don Andre is coming up next. Matsheko Mosito, how are you doing?
What are you talking about almond snacks when you had oats and fruit for breakfast?
No. The past couple of days I've been naughty. I tell you what, I've been very naughty. I've been eating all the pizzas and all the burgers, and I'm not supposed to. And I realized that if you were there with me, at least there would be like healthy snacks around, and
Absolutely.
I didn't have any of that.
Oh man, it would have been such a jump. But yes, a Friday edition, and we can't wait to hear about the travels back to Durban. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, stay tuned for more on The Upside. Catch us streaming live on social media at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Upsiders app, happy Friday, happy Friday. It's 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. 60 years of Channel Africa, your trusted voice, your African perspective into the future. Upside, on the upside, your voice matters. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
Like YOLO. Anyway, now she go, I go follow. Today, not tomorrow. Hey, baby, I'm tryna get your attention. That's why I wanna take your vacation. Can you guess that one next location? Zanzibar. Hey, I wanna give my last tattoo. It's gonna be a beauty face of you. Nothing, baby, I won't do. Anything, baby, I go do. I wanna give my last tattoo. It's gonna be a beauty face of you. Nothing, baby, I won't do. Anything, baby, I go do. Have you been to Zanzibar? Yeah, Zanzibar. I wanna take you to Zanzibar. Yeah, Zanzibar. Have you been to Zanzibar? Yeah, Zanzibar. I wanna take you to Zanzibar. Yeah, Zanzibar.
If you wanna be a warrior, oh, me wanna be a shelter. Looking like money, oh mama. Nobody hit me like you do. Ni ushaki chupa, ni onari soba. Oh baby, you know me well. Hey, I wanna get my last tattoo. face of you. Nothing, baby, I wanna do. Everything, baby, I could do. I wanna get my last tattoo. It's gonna be the face of you. Nothing, baby, I won't do. Everything, baby, I could do. Have you been to Zanzibar? Hey, Zanzibar. I wanna take you to Zanzibar. Hey, Zanzibar. Have you been to Zanzibar? Hey, Zanzibar. I wanna take you to Zanzibar. Hey, Zanzibar. Hey, Zanzibar.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
One things to want, one more want, one car to want. Catch a good job, banana, banana. Alhamdulillah, call me for that. Yeah. I'm a girl, walk on. I don't walk in those. But you power sporty, but you zero shorty. What you want, I'm on two. When you call a mura, kiriwa. You give him the leve. Twerk your body, twerk your body, twerk your body, twerk. Hollywood, down, twerk your body, twerk your body, twerk your body, I do it. Isakaba, give me your Bakasio. Your body looking like tsunami, explosive Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Plenty of money, don't make me miscalculate. Don't make me over the pay. Don't make me the misbehave. With the way them twerk. If you don't make a man go, again pepe. Eba mi o Jesu, baby feeling the boy like Oleku. Asan dio. Oh yeah, see the way our body twerk. Twerk your body, twerk your body, twerk. Hollywood, down, twerk your body, twerk your body, I do it. Twerk your body.
It's 20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Triple play coming through this afternoon on the upside. Happy Friday. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. We kicked you off with Espe Otua by Elijah Seychelles, and then we went to Zanzibar by Harmonize featuring Bruce Melody, and that last song there by Kiz Daniel and Davido. I had to listen twice because he kept saying twerk your body. I was like, what do you mean twerk? No, he was saying twe. It's the name of the song. Listen, cruise season is currently underway with MSC, and we just got off MSC Cruise Opera. That's the ship that we were on for the last 5 days, and they've set off now for another voyage. Another group has gotten onto the ship, and they're heading off to the Portuguese islands. And we'll be keeping you up to date with our activities and a reflection on some of the things that we got up to over the past couple of days on the MSC Opera. But before all of that, we are getting ready to have a conversation with Don Andre, because he's got a new stand-up special coming up, Ugandan born. It's titled Unemployed But Funny, landing on YouTube. Don't go anywhere for that conversation.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Teboho and Mateko from the upside.
22 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Listen, Ugandan stand-up comedian Don Andre, born Andrew Odongo, is a storyteller who turns real life into laughter. Since stepping into comedy in 2016, he's grown from local stages to festivals across Africa, shaping audiences in cities from Kampala to Kigali. Now with his new stand-up special, Unemployed But Funny, landing on YouTube, Don reflects on growing up, chasing expectations, and finding purpose behind the idea of a real job. He now joins us on the line. Don, thank you so much for your time. How are you doing on this fine Friday?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let's start there. As I alluded to in my intro, you are reflecting on growing up back in Uganda. Tell us about your upbringing. Did you have a good one? Now that you're older, can you reflect back and said, "Yeah, I had a great childhood"?
Well, growing up, I thought I grew up well. I thought I had it all, and I thought everything was good, but. Right now, when I reflect, I don't think I had the best upbringing. Where I grew up to be a good child, and I'm now turning things around, trying to be better, to make sure the coming generation behind me is doing better than I did.
When you reflect back, no, listen, it's not that we're not intentionally trying to get all serious or anything like that, but your reflections are very important. When you say that you reflect now back as an adult and you realize it wasn't the best of childhoods, what is it that you think you didn't have or that you lacked that you now are reflecting on as an adult and say, I missed out as a child?
I think one of those things I would say having bread for breakfast, because I didn't think it was a thing, because we were having other things, cassava, waking up to posho. I think you call it pap.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I thought that was the thing. I thought that was the best thing. I didn't know there was blue band somewhere. There was bread for breakfast. There was milk. So right now, when I look at it, I'm like, my parents played me there. They played me.
They did the best that they could. Listen, you are a storyteller, no doubt about it. I think anyone who's seen your work can acknowledge the fact that you are a storyteller. Talk to us about your material. Where does it come from? Is it based on your real life experiences, or is there a touch of someone else's lived experience that you were able to put together in a story?
Most of, I think I would say 90% of all my material is life experiences. Because I talk about my childhood, my experiences, things I went through, my school life, being unemployed, which is something people shy away from. But I was like, no, this is something golden I can use. So most of my material is based off my life experiences, the things I've went through, and some observations in the society.
You have found laughter in unemployment, Don. Not a lot of people can say that. A lot of people who are unemployed right now are stressing, they're full of anxiety. How did you find humor in being unemployed?
I mean, it's real life. There's nothing much you can do about it. Because you'll find like millions of people are graduating, and then there's like 1,000 jobs. I mean, it has to make sense at the end of the day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm here unemployed, so there's nothing I can do about it. So I just tell people, I was telling my stories, how I earn a living in Kampala, how by listening to radio stations where they have money programs. I don't know if you have them over there. You have
we all do
radio shows that you call in and you get paid, So I was just talking about all those things. How I make money. How I make money as an unemployed person.
Oh, listen, we are looking forward to this special that will be landing on YouTube, and you'll tell us more about the details as to when and how. But you have performed in various parts of Africa. East Africa, you've performed. Southern Africa, you've performed. Talk to us about performing in these different locations. Did it make you realize that actually we are all going through the same thing, or did it make you realize that different parts of Africa requires a different sense of humor and a different approach?
It's I think comedy is actually a global language. When you travel, you might think the people in other parts of Africa or the world will not understand what you're talking about. But the world is a global village. The same thing you're talking about here in Kampala, you find everyone is relating to it. So it's just you need to just write global material. That's how I would term it. Not material that is only consumed in one area, or maybe Kampala, or maybe Johannesburg. You need to write global material, relatable stuff that everyone will laugh at. The white people, your fellow black people, like just that cuts across. So I think that is the trick.
And indeed, it helps that you are a great storyteller, because you are then telling these stories that are relatable across different religions, races, and that's the work that we enjoy watching. Tell us more about Unemployed But Funny. It will be on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. When will it launch, and how can we access it?
I have already started putting out snippets, because you know how the right now it's a bit hard to get your specials on Netflix. I think it's just a few South African comedians who have been able to do it. I think Lois Angola, Trevor Noah, but Africa as a whole hasn't yet had the channel like opened up. So for now, I'm putting up some snippets on TikTok and on YouTube. So you could please check them out. If you're listening in, it's some good stuff. I'm sure you love it.
I have no doubt about that. And the name of it, what do we search for? We just search for Unemployed But Funny, or do we search for your name, Don Andre, when we go on YouTube?
Yes, just search for Don Andre Comedy. You find me there. You can't miss it. And on TikTok, it's Don Andre Stand Up.
All right. Don, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. All the best with this special Unemployed But Funny. It's on YouTube right now. Go check it out on his platform, Don Andre, and go follow him on social media. And listen, he's taking the mickey out of unemployment and saying unemployed but funny. You have to find humor in times what we deem the darkest moments of our lives. We go through it as human beings, and if you can find a way to laugh about it, not in a rude or a weird way, but in a way that says, listen, everything will be just okay. I think he's a great storyteller to follow. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the Sawa. So Miguel Gadoso, the head coach of South African football side Mamelodi Sundowns, insists that tonight's CAF Champions League encounter against Al Hilal is not a decisive fixture, but victory would give his side valuable breathing room in the group. So the Brazilians will host Sudanese rivals Al Hilal at Loftus Versfeld in the country's capital city Pretoria, with both teams on 4 points. A win would then put Sundowns ahead in the group standings, increasing their chances of progressing to the next stage. Cardoso warned that Al Hilal will be a tough test and stressed that Sundowns must exploit their home ground advantage to control this group.
Great competition ahead. We're back on Champions League. Third match out of 6. Nothing will be decided tomorrow. Obviously, a good result from our side gives us a good position in the competition. Big respect by the team of Al Hilal. It's a team with a lot of resources. Just take a look on how many players they have on national team. So we know the responsibility of this match. We know how the opponent plays, so what they can do, but we know very, very well what we can do, what we want, the capacity we have.
Right, we'll stay with football news. The Algerian Football Federation announced that the disciplinary committee of the CAF Confederation of African Football, also known as CAF, has imposed sanctions on the Algerian national team as well as the federation regarding their quarter-final match against Nigeria in the just concluded 2025 Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Algeria was eliminated from the tournament following a 2-0 defeat to Nigeria in the quarterfinals. So, Luka Zidane, the goalkeeper, has been suspended for 2 matches to be served during the upcoming 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Then Rafik Bolagi, the defender, has been suspended for 4 matches, with 2 matches suspended, this to be served as well during the 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Meanwhile, CAF has imposed a $5,000 fine to inappropriate behavior following 4 players receiving yellow cards in that encounter. There's an additional $25,000 fine for misconduct by some players, as well as officials after the match, which went to negatively affect the image of the game. A further $5,000 has been imposed as well for the use of flares by fans. At the same time, the FA has been fined $5,000 for throwing objects by fans, $10,000 fine for breaching security procedures as some fans attempted to cross barriers, while a further $50,000 has been imposed for offensive gestures by fans, including waving of banknotes towards match officials. Meanwhile, the Algerian Football Federation stated in an official announcement that it has immediately initiated an appeal procedure allowed under the applicable regulations to change these sanctions. The Federation also added that it continues to monitor the matter with the utmost attention and also reaffirms its intention now to defending the interest of Algerian football within strict respect of regulatory as well as institutional frameworks. Well, on to some cricket news now. South African batter Tony Dozozi, as well as Multiply Titans batter Donovan Ferreira, have both been ruled out of the upcoming 3-match T20 series against the West Indies, as well as the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup later on this, next month, by the way, in India as well as Sri Lanka due to injury. Dozozi has not progressed as expected in his rehabilitation from a right hamstring muscle tear that he sustained during the one-day international series against India in December of last year. Ferreira, meanwhile, sustained a fracture to his left clavicle during the Betway SA20 tournament. Now, the Proteas coach Shukri Kondrat says they have good replacements for both players.
But I think the really good thing is that we've got players of the caliber of Stubbo and Ryan, who steps into the shoes. So yeah, look, always disappointing when you lose players to an original squad. But like I mentioned, the quality of players that we've got as replacements, that's rather satisfying and gratifying to know as a coach.
On to summer tennis news now. Play will start 30 minutes earlier at the Australian Open on Saturday, with temperatures now set to reach 40 degrees Celsius in Melbourne. Now, play will begin on all courts at 10:30 a.m. local time instead of the usual 11 a.m. local time. Now, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology has issued a severe heatwave warning in Melbourne and the state of Victoria. Play will be suspended at the Australian Open if the tournament's heat stress scale hits its maximum of 5. So the scale measures 4 factors: the radiant heat, the air temperatures in the shade, the relative humidity, as well as the wind speed. So if all 5 of the record, if all of the 5 is recorded on the heat stress scale, matches on the Rod Laver Arena, the Margaret Court Arena, as well as the John Cain Arena will stop play to allow the roof to be closed before play can continue. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. Always, for any sports stories you'd like to share with us, do send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa. Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African Perspective. For 60 years, Channel Africa has connected the continent. Celebrate the journey. Celebrate the African perspective.
All right, let's check in with the latest in business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Matseko. Good afternoon. South Africa's Valterra Platinum says it expects an annual profit to rise by as much as 106% on the back of a record rally in platinum prices and operational cost reductions. Valterra says under its updated outlook, it expects headline earnings between $965.71 million and $1.7 billion in the year ended December the 31st. In a statement, the company says the earnings for the period were boosted by a 26% increase in prices for platinum group metals basket, as well as $308 million worth of operational cost reductions, which more than offset the impact of inflation, and $105 million in one-off demerger-related costs. South Africa is entering 2026 with renewed investor confidence, supported by a combination of global and domestic trends. According to Cedartel's latest investment outlook, this is the highest level of optimism in 30 years. Chief Investment Officer George Hammond notes, however, that the improved sentiment towards South Africa comes after years of low growth.
Our GNU has placed in some stability into our political framework, and so suddenly we are seeing some upgrades to expectations for growth in South Africa, as some of our structural impediments on energy and logistics are slowly but surely showing signs of improvement.
Nissan Motors says it will sell its manufacturing assets in Roslyn, South Africa, to the local arm of China's Chery Automobile for an undisclosed sum. Chery SA will buy the land, buildings and associated assets of Nissan's facilities in mid-2026 if conditions including regulatory approvals are met by then. Production of the Navara pickup truck, the plant's only model, will end in May if the deal goes ahead. The model is made for the local markets and exported to several countries, mainly in Africa. The move is part of Nissan's ongoing turnaround plan, under which it is closing or consolidating 7 plants. The company declined to confirm the production capacity of the Roslyn plant, which was set up more than 50 years ago. In other news, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has approved targeted investment-linked incentives for Shell's Bonga Southwest Deepwater Oil Project following a meeting with the company's chief executive. The proposed incentives are the latest in a raft of regulatory reforms in Africa's top crude oil producer, as it looks to attract investments to boost oil and gas production. In a statement, the president's office says the incentives are not blanket concessions. It says they will be ring-fenced and focused on new capital, incremental production, and strong local content delivery. TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance says it has finalized a deal to establish a majority American-owned joint venture that will secure U.S. data to avoid a U.S. ban on the short video app used by over 200 million Americans. The deal is a milestone for the social media firm after years of battles that began in August 2020 when President Donald Trump tried to ban the app over national security concerns. Trump later opted not to enforce a law passed in April 2024 requiring ByteDance to sell its U.S. assets by the following January or face a ban, a measure upheld by the Supreme Court. Now let's shift our focus to financial indicators. $1 in Nigeria is 1,420 naira, Botswana 13 pula 20, Kenya 128 shilling 29, in Zambia 19 kwacha 97. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 307, Russia 72 rubles 22, India 91 rupee 58, China 7 yuan 97, South Africa 16 rand 20 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is trading at $4,914, platinum at $2,634 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $64.65 a barrel. That's all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Desperado, many, Mamigo, Balotelli, ladies taking me photo, paparazzi, Don Julio, Don Diami, Egumedeu la, ni pestas aula, azametra la, yeah, la, Egumedeu la, ni pestas aula, azametra la, yeah, la, yeah, la, yeah. La It's not the way I see me, because of the way I talking to me, yeah. Think you see me the streets of Opa, you see me the streets of Sapler, you see me you go, you see me tell Joshua, you can talk to me like this. Yeah, I'll be wow. Yeah, I know. Minister of Enjoyment, it's a continental, monumental. Go live forever. Chop another bank out. At the mat, they must be meta. Smoke is asa. Let me can't forget your mother. Egumedeu la, ni pestas aula, azametra la, yeah, la, Egumedeu la, ni pestas aula, azametra la, yeah, la, yeah. La, yeah, la, yeah, la, yeah, la, Desperado, many, Amigo, Balotelli, ladies taking me photo, paparazzi, Don Julio, Don Diami.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Every night I cry, oh, just to blame myself for loving you like I did. You like I did. I go like to know your plan, oh baby. Cause it's been 4 weeks of calling, you know they peak. You know they peak. Do you believe in us? See us we blend like gin and juice. Made in heaven, that's me and you. That's me and you. Do you believe in trust? Transparency and love we do. I'm so lonely, I'm missing you. I'm missing you. I'm lonely, baby boy, I am sorry, Joe. I be human being, oh. I be human being, oh. Miss your loving, baby, sure you don't miss me, Joe. I be human being, oh. I be human being, oh. Oh, yeah. I be human being, oh. I be human being, oh. I be human being, oh.
I be with my friends all day and I still feel lonely. Just want to feel like you know me. Loving me back's what you owe me. Love you when you owe me. I talk about your day when I'm with my homies. Don't say you love me, show me. Put it on my body slowly. Feel like I don't take cause of my heart at stake. I feel like we need a break. Since when I don't know what you taste like. When I won't see you again. I feel the best things when they see the worst in you. Girl, I put my trust in you. You know, I put my all in you. I was gonna bust in you. I'm lonely, baby girl, I am sorry. I be human being, no. I be human being. It's your loving, baby, say you don't miss me. I be human being, no. I be human being, no. I be human being. You know, say I be, yeah. I be human being.
Music by Ira Star with Lonely Riffix. Welcome to the Upside. Matsako Mosito in studio, Debocholeni on the MSC Cruise. It is wonderful to have you on board for the Friday edition, and we cannot carry Friday programming and leave music out of the equation. That would be unbecoming, okay? But here we are coming through with DJ Lane in studio with us. DJ Lane is going to be talking about how he's been able to kind of shape his music journey, you know, coming from Kwaggafontein, moving to Johannesburg, making it happen in the big city. And we're going to talk about his career. We're going to talk about his journey that began many moons ago in the year 2009, and just what he's all about when we look at the space of music in South Africa. So tune in for that. And my good guess is that you're going to enjoy the mix that he's got in store for us that's coming through in the next hour.
As Africa renews, so does its voices. 60 years of Channel Africa. Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has now accused Rwanda of violating the peace deal. Are you surprised at this latest accusation? This is literally days after a signing, a ceremony, so to speak.
This is not surprising. I mean, if you ask Paul Kagame, he would also say almost the same thing. One should ask a question. The broker of the peace deal, President Trump, what is it that he wants? Why now? And why is this peace deal being signed in the Americas and not in the Great Lakes? Paul Kagame has never respected Tshisekedi, as often say. Tshisekedi must deal with the problems in his country. He has nothing to do with it. So this peace deal, obviously, when it was signed, one just looked at it and said, this will not last.
Kenny Matiba, former journalist.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. This is The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. We're coming to you from the Durban Harbour Terminal, MSC Terminal. Actually, it's the Nelson Mandela something terminal building. This is where thousands and thousands of people walk through, have their passports stamped before they get on board an MSC ship. Today we concluded our 5-day journey, making our way into the middle of the Indian Ocean over the past couple of days. We landed this morning, we got off the ship, and a new group got on, and they have just departed to make a new voyage, making their way to the Portuguese islands. And listen, later on during the show we'll reflect on some of our favorite moments from the ship, but for now it's time for What Caught Your Eye. Matsako Mosito, something interesting caught my eye, and it was doing its rounds on social media. And I will begin by asking the question, why are beggar flippers doing garden work? Oh, well, let me start there. Because on January the 7th, 2026, there was a video that was posted on social media showing employees at the Menlo Park Steers outlet cleaning bushes and bagging debris due to a manager's call. This was amid delayed landlord maintenance, according to him. And so you're basically asking your team members who are working inside the kitchen, who are flipping burgers, assembling the burgers, serving customers, you're asking them to go do garden work. Someone saw this and said it's unacceptable, got out of their vehicle and addressed the manager. Right, the manager was very, I wouldn't say dismissive, but he stood firm on the idea that no, these are our employees. They need to do the work. I told them they must do whatever they need to do, but it's outside of their scope of work. They are beggar flippers. They are supposed to be inside the steers, not attending to the garden. Steers responded to this, Steers management, and they said, listen, we are aware of a video showing team members performing gardening tasks outside one of our restaurants. Following an immediate investigation, we established that the manager asked the team members to remove excessive weed growth due to a delay in landlord maintenance after the December festive period. While keeping a clean exterior is important, this work should not be carried out by team members. This is not standard practice at Steers and is unacceptable. We have reviewed all instances where this took place at this restaurant, and it's clear that these individuals made the wrong judgment call. Steers has now issued a few demands or action plans. One of them is that the franchisee has been issued with a formal notice. The team are engaging with the landlord to ensure that ongoing service providers for exterior maintenance are in place. All managers at the restaurant are immediately being retrained, and Steers is implementing clearer operational guidelines to prevent anything of this nature from happening again. So my thing is, had this not been caught on social media, on video, would it have stopped anyway or anywhere? I don't see this. How can I put it delicately? This is happening, and because they got caught, now they're doing something about it, and I don't like that. Because how many other outlets as employees are subjected to managers saying, do something that's outside of your scope of work, right? And it's not captured on camera, and they have no leg to stand on and say, hey, manager, you are not allowed to tell me to do that. Nando's, trust Nando's to be on the pulse. Nando's responded. Nando's, the guys who make the chicken, they said, they posted a picture. And on the picture it says, some people do gardening on the clock. We do grilling. No funny business, just flame grilled peri-peri chicken. Nando's, get the real work done. All right, let's laugh a little bit. Nando's always on the point. But again, how many employees are subjected to managers telling them to work outside of their scope of work, but because there aren't any influences or videos taken of them being told to do what they shouldn't be doing, they still continue to do it and they get exploited. I love the fact that social media and people are taking videos and taking evidence so that people can stop being exploited. Is this the right approach from Steers? I think so. Absolutely. But how many other outlets, managers are subjecting their employees to the same conditions? I'm just glad that it came out into the public, and some people are now saying let's not support steers. I think that's a bit extreme, though, wouldn't you say, Matsako?
It's very extreme. But look, two things. I think firstly, Nando's must hire you as their voiceover artist. Nando. I was like, yes, Mr. T. That's the first thing.
I receive.
And secondly, those types of spaces, wherever the restaurateur space is, especially if you are at, for lack of a better term, I'm going to use a very unfortunate term, but that's the only one I've got in mind at the moment. If you're at the bottom of the food chain, it can be very exploitative, That's just the unfortunate thing. You do things that have nothing to do with your job description. You are fried in the street distributing flyers. You are pulling out weeds. You are dealing with all sorts of things that have got nothing to do with the food or your job description, as it were. So it's very unfortunate, and we're grateful for social media at this time, because it highlights those exploitations and possibly gives us a space to create dialogue so we can deal with them. Speaking of dialogue, big dialogues are happening as we've kickstarted 2026 at the World Economic Forum in Davos, and I think it's been interesting. I've been following it a little bit. So basically, I mean, this is a gathering. 65 heads of state, governments are convening, and as I understand it, the theme is a spirit of dialogue, which is very interesting when we look at the goals around navigating, complex global landscapes. There's a lot going on when we look at technology and the changes that are coming with that. The artificial intelligence that's on everyone's tip of their tongue. Geopolitics are a big one, fragmentations, economic uncertainties all over the world, not just in third world countries. So it's been very interesting to see African leaders using the global stage to make their voices heard on behalf of those that cannot speak, and pushing back on old narratives and championing an African future. And it makes me really proud. I mean, I was listening to Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was talking about Africa's growth, and building industry and infrastructure and capacity and all these wonderful things. So I think it's great, but also started thinking about what's happening in the country I live in, which is South Africa. And, the fact that we actually have a space that President Cyril Ramaphosa had dedicated for what he calls, or what was called, the first smart city in South Africa. And the land is still just staring at the sky, and nothing has happened 6 years later. So maybe this will serve as motivation, to come back with this information, come back with these dialogues, and actually be pragmatic about things. We cannot just talk about things. We've also got to come back and really fulfill the projects that are still kind of open-ended. So a lot is on my mind following the World Economic Forum that's taking place in Davos. It's a very important gathering. So I think as we kickstart the year 2026, some themes to pay attention to there.
Absolutely. It's gone 2 p.m. Central African time. That's what caught our eye. Let us know what caught your eye on social media at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. It's the golden hour, the second hour of the Upside. Get excited because we've got a DJ mix coming up next, and that DJ will be joining Matseko in studio. But first, before we get into those festivities, let's get the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Teboho. Looking at your top stories, Uganda's military chief detains opposition supporters affected by post-election conflict, and talks between Russia and the U.S. delegation on ending the war in Ukraine. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Uganda's military chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba has reported today that authorities have detained 2,000 opposition supporters, killed 30 and were hunting for more following a disputed presidential election in which his father Yoweri Museveni won a 7th term. Museveni, who is now 81, has led the East African nation for nearly 4 decades, was declared to have resoundingly defeated leader of the opposition National Unity Platform Party, Bobi Wine, in the January 15 vote. In a series of overnight social media posts, the military chief, who is Museveni's son, gave the first details of the arrests and killings of NUP supporters, describing them as hooligans and terrorists. The African Union is moving closer to restoring Guinea's membership nearly 4 years after suspending the country following a military coup. At a meeting in Addis Ababa, EU Commission chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf recommended lifting the suspension, saying Guinea has reached a key milestone in its political transition with the new constitution and presidential elections. Senior analyst at Control Risk, Beverly Ochieng, explains.
For the African Union, the fact that Guinea did hold an election, the presidential election that took place in December, means that this marks the end of it being under a junta interim government to a more elected democratic government, even though there have been disputes from the opposition around the conduct of that election. The result was quite decisive, with Dumbuya getting more than 70% of the vote. It is a symbolic change, him moving from just being a leader of a junta to being a president, which means that they can politically engage with him. And for the most part, we have seen that the biggest pressure point for countries under military-led government is a constitutional handover of power.
A private social worker has told the East London Magistrate Court in the Eastern Cape Province in South Africa that the Economic Freedom Fighter Party leader Julius Malema is not a candidate for direct imprisonment. In her pre-sentencing support, Jessie Thompson states that no harm was caused and that the firearm in question was discharged in a celebratory manner and no violence was intended. Malema is awaiting his sentence for firing a rifle in the air at a rally in 2018. The social worker added that Malema has great reputation of being a community builder through his charitable work.
After a thorough assessment of the accused's personal circumstances, the seriousness of the offences, societal interest and relevant legislation and case law, the following sentencing proposal is made. Impose a fine that reflects the gravity of the offences, with the fine suspended to encourage continued lawful behaviour. Restrict the accused from obtaining a firearm licence for a specific period as an ongoing deterrent. Require the accused to make a monetary donation as restitution to Gun Free South Africa, an NGO focused on reducing gun violence in South Africa.
The Department of Home Affairs in South Africa has raised concern over the role that some citizens play in undermining immigration controls, including through illegal business rentals and so-called marriage of convenience. The Chief Director for Strategy and Institutional Performance, Sihlem Tiane, says transactional marriages are being used by some foreign nationals to gain permanent residence, often leaving South African spouses vulnerable. Speaking at the public consultation workshop at the draft revised white paper on citizenship, immigration and refugee protection in Bloemfontein, Tiane warned that these practices place pressure on public services meant for citizens. He has called on communities to take responsibility, saying immigration challenges cannot be addressed without confrontation through roots causes.
But do you check with Home Affairs before you rent out your premises for trading, your premises for accommodation? Is there anyone who has ever done that in this house? I bet my last cent no one has. Yet you complain with everyone saying, how come spaza shops are run by foreigners?
And lastly, the Kremlin has described nearly 4 hours of talks with the senior U.S. delegation on ending the war in Ukraine as extremely informative, constructive, frank and trusting. An aide to President Vladimir Putin stressed that there could be no hope for long-term settlement, however, without, as he put it, resolving the territorial issues. The BBC's Vitaly Sheshvenko explains.
Vladimir Putin keeps saying that Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, is illegitimate, suggesting that he wants him gone, suggesting that Russia wants some kind of influence on the Ukrainian political system. So while all these people from Ukraine, America and Russia saying that it's Donbass they're going to be talking about in Abu Dhabi today and tomorrow, I think we're best advised to remember that Russia's appetites go much, much further than that.
Recapping on your top stories, Uganda's military chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba has reported today that authorities have detained 2,000 opposition supporters, killed 30, and were hunting for more following a disputed presidential election in which his father, Yoweri Museveni, won a 7th term. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nsinsi.
SABC News. The African perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
We're 7 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African Time. Welcome if you have just started listening. Otherwise, thank you for starting the programming with us at 1 p.m. Yes, madam. But here we are. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are going to be looking at a wonderful journey, man, that began in Kwaggafontein and now it is moving through the country like you cannot believe. The journey of DJ Lane is what we're going to be focusing on. He joins me in studio. He is a DJ and has been really consistent in his efforts in the space of music, coming through with some wonderful dance floor fillers. And his beginning is marked the year 2009, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been able to build beautiful dance floor fillers, as I'd mentioned, soulful dance house music with a lot of depth and a lot of feeling. So we're going to talk about that, okay? We're going to talk about how he's been able to stay in his own lane, but bring us with him as he moves along. It's going to be so much fun. His brand new song, or one of his latest hits, is going to be coming through after this.
Channel Africa 1060. 6 decades of stories, voices, and vision. Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app.
The whole population of Africa has been shocked to the depth of its soul.
For 60 years, Channel Africa has been the voice that connects the continent, telling our stories and sharing our vision with the world. This year, we mark 6 decades of broadcast excellence.
60 years of stories, sound, and connection.
6 years of African conversations that matter.
This is 60 years of broadcast excellence.
Broadcast excellence, rooted in Africa's heartbeat and looking boldly into the future. Join Channel Africa as we celebrate 60 years of broadcasting. Still strong, still vibrant, and still giving you the African perspective.
Channel Africa.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chemane.
Lelintle, talk to us about your relationship with your father, Coach Pitso. What is this one thing that he said to you that is still stuck at the top of your head?
Coach Pitso and our mom, Moira Tlhagale, have always told us that whatever we do in life, we must do it to the best of our abilities and, represent our family well. But the big thing is do what you love and do it with all the passion that you have. And I think we see it in both their work. I mean, my mom has done a really good job with placing Coach Pitso in different clubs around the world, and she's negotiated contracts, and she's showing that as a woman you can also do work that is seen, and you can also get respect from men in a male-dominated space. And I think my dad has also shown that you must never underestimate the Black African man.
Lelintle Mosimane, a South African communications and digital media professional. Lelintle is also a daughter to a great mentor when it comes to the game of football. Coach Jingles Musimani.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za. Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
I want to party. Possible too much. Baby, shake your body, 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 body. Baby, move your body, 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 body. Make it day one side, make it just stay rock, make it just stay traboski. Our bodies touch, my money is long, my team is long. Follow me after the party to where you belong. I want to show you what you never seen before. I want to do what I never do before. I want to dance. I want to dance. I want to party. I'm so good so much. Baby, shake your body, 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 no send anybody. Baby, move your body, 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 no send anybody. Yo, give me that say you arrest me. We don't smoke cause it's full up, it's your back. It's in jail, it's your back. She not gonna, it's your back about, behind me. We don't say walk, 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 touch your body, hold still up. Now on your body, I want my cut so, baby cut so. I want watch this, I want fast this, I want drop your body not this spot. Your body not real price. No, 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 dolly. Traboski, swagger. No, 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 dolly. Traboski, I don't hide. She don't hide. Say she got the boyfriend. Me, I got the girlfriend. But I want the number, I want the bumper. No, 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 dolly. Traboski, swaggerski. No, 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 dolly. Traboski. I want to dance. I want to dance. I want to party. What's a good
And Mateko from the Upside.
Thank you for staying with us. It is 14 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African time. A pleasure to have you join us this afternoon. And we cannot carry a Friday without a musical touch. Okay, we do this every single Friday where we hang out with some of the finest DJs, producers, musicians from all over the African continent. Okay, this time around, DJ Lane joins me in studio. He's got a mix for us, just as a surprise, okay, that I've now let out the bag, but he's in studio with me and we're going to talk about how he has shaped his musical journey since the year 2009, building a sound that blends soulful dance house with a lot of depth, a lot of feeling, as I'd mentioned. And over the years, he has released a steady body of work through his own imprint, which is wonderful to know. So without any further ado, DJ Lane is in studio. Wonderful to meet you. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm good. And how are you?
Good. I love how you calm, serene demeanor, you know, in this crazy world of music. But talk to me about just your passion for music. I think that's always a good place to start. Just, you know, getting to know you a little bit better. your journey has been documented that you've been doing this since the year 2009.
Yeah. So I'm from a small village called Matezin Slope. It's just next to Kwaggafontein. Yeah, so I grew up in a village. Abantu Bakona, we know each other. We also know we have only 2 criminals around.
And that's it.
So yeah, man. I've been laid back. I have a church background. My grandfather was a pastor.
Right.
So I started from church, choir, and then I started playing keyboards, and then computers came in. I started playing around with the softwares and all that. And then I was fortunate enough, there were guys from my kasi who were doing music. The likes of Dr. Duda, the one from Mikasa. There's also Bob Easy. They're also, producers. So I had to learn from them. Obviously, YouTube came, Google came, and then, I refined my craft. Yeah.
I think it's so easy because, or rather interesting. That's the word. I think it's interesting that you come from a small town, and perhaps you can tell us how you imagined music, from where you come from, and did you even imagine that it would travel this far?
No, I never thought. Well, back then we only knew hip hop, so I started being a rapper before I started playing with software.
Well, that's a good place to start. I like that.
It was choir, then a rapper, started doing cultural, events at school and all that. And then Dr. Dura came. I was like, oh, so there is a thing called a producer. What does a producer do? So I learned that they compose music, they direct music, We also learned their instruments like your keyboard, your lead guitar, your bass guitar, And then, obviously, internet made it better because now I had to Google everything and start learning online.
Interesting. If you've just tuned in, we're 17 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African time. DJ Lane is joining me in studio, and we're talking about his wonderful musical journey. And, of course, throwing forward to the fact that he's got a mix for us that you can watch live, just by the way, on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. 12 years ago,
yes,
dark skin was a thing, hey? Oh my God, that was a thing. So talk to us about that. Talk to us about, your thinking 12 years ago and, some of the people that you worked with that kind of shaped your journey as you and I speak.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Dark skin was produced from my back room.
Interesting.
Didn't even have equipment, I was like, okay, let me play around, let me try this deep house thing because now, deep house was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let me send it to my guys. So there was a guy called Mika. He was staying in Jozi. I think he was working at the mine somewhere.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, my brother, you know what? Your song is nice. What I can do for you, I can just get it out there. Because it was only released on Traxsource. So on Traxsource, there's record labels from US, from all over the world. So they had the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I'm hoping that we'll have one of his latest hits that we can drop in. But stay with us.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you. Across Africa, communities rise with the promise of clean water and clean sanitation. The African Union's 2026 theme calls us to action.
It's about mobilizing real commitments, securing climate-resilient water and sanitation projects, and ensuring that water becomes a driver of sustainable development and prosperity across the continent.
A landmark moment, not only for Africa, but for the global movement for access to safe water for all.
Assuring sustainable water availability for every home, every village, every nation. This is the Africa we want.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
SABC2 is stepping into a new era, Papa, where every moment tells a story. A new era of conversations with Enklik Let's Connect at 4:30 p.m., bringing real talk and South African voices. A new era of Afrikaans news at 6:30 p.m., trusted information in the language you love. A new era of family entertainment, Omar Sari at 7 p.m., celebrating humor, tradition and togetherness. A new era of excitement in a new time slot, Deal or No Deal at 7:30 p.m., bringing primetime thrills home. A new era of drama, Pimville at 9 p.m., a brand new powerful telenovela from Soweto that grips the heart, and a new era of flavor with a new season of Color Your Plate with Koo, Sundays at 7 p.m. A new era begins on SABC2.
6 decades of rhythm, resonance, and relevance. We are Channel Africa, the African perspective. Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can only get it on the Upside. Every weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Upside transport you from Cape to Cairo every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African
Just a little taste of one of DJ Lane's latest hits titled Walala Wasala, coming through as we open gateways into the African continent, musically so. Walala Wasala, you know what I love about like you guys, hey, DJs and producers, there's always like a feminine in there somewhere. And every DJ has theirs, right? Like with Cunas back in the day, it was Malaire, and then, every DJ has their feminine. Talk to us about this feminine in the song.
It's Nelly SA from Soweto. We never met before, so that's the power of social media.
Yes.
So I just posted on Facebook that I'm looking for female vocalists, and then she holla. I sent her a beat. Yeah, she recorded on her own and sent vocals.
And what did you think? I think she killed it.
Yo.
Hey?
It's like she read my mind.
Exactly. This is exactly what you were looking for. Exactly. I think she's absolutely amazing. And also just that ancestral vibe that she brings into the music. Okay, wonderful. Rumor has it through the grapevine that you're working on an album.
Yes, I am.
Tell us about it.
I'm not sure how many tracks, but then already I have like 12 tracks. So I need to have at least 20 so that I can, choose from there. But I want it to be a 10-track album.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any chance that it would be a double album?
Perhaps I'll speak to my manager about that. I'm not sure. It will depend how it sounds. Because I feel like I'm 80% done.
Okay. 2009 is till now is quite a long time, to find oneself, to meet people, to find the inspiration, to change your mind, So when you look at your journey and how it's been shaped since that time, what are your reflections on how you've grown, on how you've evolved, and how you see the space of dance music in particular?
Yeah, no, it has changed a lot. If you check, back then it was hip hop, and then came Kwaito, Also hip hop came back, and then there was house music, came deep house music. We had Gqom, I'm a piano now,
right?
And there's Afro house and 3-step. But what I will say, music is music. Yeah, you know, every music has a chord, has a drum line. It just depends which one you wanna go for. So if you listen to my music, it's a fusion of R&B, house music, and also I tried those African sounds.
And it's working.
It is working.
It's working. Not just for you, but it's really just so amazing. I mean, I could immediately, I want to add Walala Wasala to my personal playlist.
Is it?
Because it's a nice, sort of road trip song for me. Really stunning. Okay, so in terms of who you are forming relationships with for the album, any collaborations musically that we can expect or get excited about?
Yeah, well, I like working with the upcoming artists because now, I'm not that famous, so I'm still
you are famous. You are so famous.
But
just don't know
making music needs a lot of money. That's the problem. Those well-established artists want a lot of money, so I prefer working with someone with no ego, someone who just
and who wants to grow with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point. Hey?
Yeah. So I'm working with upcoming artists. You'll see I have female and male vocalists. Also with producers. I work with producers. Yeah, not that I'm a producer, then I don't want producers to work with. No. Everyone who does music and great music, we are all in.
Because at the end of the day, like the one mind can only do so much.
Exactly.
You need other ideas and other people. Your favorite musical instrument?
Keyboard.
Is the keyboard?
Yes.
Why?
I played well.
Okay. Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But if money wasn't an issue or politics wasn't an issue, and it was just a big ideal space, who is your ideal collaborator on either on an album or a piece of music?
I like local guys like Msaki, Simi, Busi, legendary Busi, Thandiswa Mazwai, Kalo. I think you had Kalo here maybe last month.
Yes.
Those soulful guys, man. Yeah.
Okay, because there is quite a lot of soul in your music.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. What else is on the agenda for the year 2026 for DJ Lane?
We just released the new song, the one you just played, Walala Wasala, featuring Nedi SA, and I'm working on an album. We just shot a video as well, so you'll see me everywhere. Radio, nice TV, we are everywhere.
Okay, love it for you. Who are you on social media?
Social media is DJ Lane on Facebook. TikTok, it's Lane_DJ, X as well, and Instagram, Lane_DJ.
Okay. There's also a massive opportunity for musicians to kind of cross-collaborate, not just with musicians, but with brands, whether it's a food brand or a clothing brand, any hopes or stuff in the works around that as well?
Yeah, well, I hope so. My manager, I think, is putting up something. But then, as an artist, I would like to say we focus more on the creative stuff. That's why we have people like managers, road managers, so that we don't deal with So I think I'm good in music. Everything else I'll leave to my team.
No, absolutely. Okay, we're going to follow you, DJ Lane, on all the platforms, and there's a hot mix coming through. I can't wait. Do you want to tell us what's in it, or shall we just keep listening?
Soulful dance.
Yes. Okay, so grab your person, if you've got a person, and that it doesn't have to be a romantic person. It can be anyone that you love, that you feel that's closest to you. Put your dancing shoes on, because we're going to go on a journey with DJ Lane just after the sports and the economics news bulletins.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the Sawa. So Mamelodi Sundowns veteran goalkeeper Dennis Onyango believes a haul of at least 10 points should be enough to secure qualification for the CAF Champions League knockout phase. He adds that the Brazilians must make their home matches count ahead of hosting Al Hilal tonight at Loftus Versfeld in the country's capital city Pretoria, with the two sides level on points and both eager now to assert control on the group. Onyango says the target is clear, but also warns that Sundowns cannot afford any slip-ups on home soil if they are to gain a decisive advantage in this group. So the head coach of the side, Miguel Cardoso, insists that tonight's CAF Champions League encounter against the South Sudanese side is not decisive fixture, but victory will indeed give the side valuable breathing room in the group. The Brazilians will host the South Sudanese side at Loftus Versfeld tonight. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Central African time. So a win would then put Sundowns ahead in the group standings, increasing then their chances of progressing to the next round of the competition. Cardoso warned that Al Hilal will be a tough test and also stressed that Sundowns must exploit their home advantage to control this group.
Great competition ahead. We're back on Champions League. Third match out of 6. Nothing will be decided tomorrow. Obviously, a good result from our side gives us a good position in the competition. Big respect by the team of Al Hilal. It's a team with a lot of resources. Just take a look on how many players they have on national team. So we know the responsibility of this match. We know how the opponent plays, what they can do, but we know very, very well what we can do, what we want, the capacity we have.
On to this now, the Algerian Football Federation announced that a disciplinary committee of the Confederation of African Football has imposed sanctions on the Algerian national men's football team, as well as the federation regarding their quarter-final match against Nigeria in the just concluded Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco. Algeria, by the way, were eliminated from the tournament after a 2-0 defeat to Nigeria in the quarterfinals. So Lucas Zidane, the goalkeeper of the side, was suspended for 2 matches, and those 2 suspensions are to be served during the upcoming 2027 AFCON qualifiers. At the same time, Rafig Bolagali, the defender of the side, has been suspended for 2 matches. 2 of those matches suspended, also to be served during the upcoming 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Then $5,000 has been imposed on the Algerian side for inappropriate behavior following 4 players receiving yellow cards in that encounter. A further $25,000 fine for misconduct by some players as well as officials after the match, which went on to negatively affect the image of the game. Meanwhile, the FA have been fined $5,000 for throwing objects by fans, a further $10,000 fine for breaching security procedures as some fans attempted to cross barriers, then a $50,000 fine for offensive gestures by fans, including waving back notes towards the match officials. Meanwhile, the Algerian Football Federation stated in an official announcement that they will immediately initiate an appeal procedure, allowing under the applicable regulations to challenge these sanctions by CAF. The Federation also added that it continues to monitor the matter with the utmost attention and also reaffirms its intention to defending the interest of Algerian football within strict respect for regulatory as well as institutional frameworks. And finally, in tennis news, Cameron Norrie lost out to Alexander Zverev in the Australian Open third round to end the British interest in the singles in Melbourne. Now, Norrie produced an inspired second set but ultimately fell to a 7-5, 4-6, 6-3, 6-1 defeat by the world number 3 Zverev. Norrie is no stranger to carrying the hopes of his country with his 4th consecutive Grand Slam in which he has been the last Brit standing in the singles. However, the British number 2 also faced an uphill task, having lost all 6 of their previous tour-level meetings prior to their 2025 Australian Open third round match. Meanwhile, American 18-year-old Eva Djokovic pulled off the biggest upset of her career after she stunned Italian 7th seed Yasmin Paolini 6-2 and 7-6 at the Australian Open earlier today to earn her first ever Grand Slam last 16 appearance. The 29th seed turned the tables on Paolini, who had beaten her last year at the Indian Wells tournament as well as the US Open to claim her maiden victory over a top 10 player and then extend her tour leading winning streak to 10 matches in 2026. On that winning note, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, do remember to send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Give us a call as well. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update on the upside in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Teboholi Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Let's quickly check in with the latest in business news with Chandugo Legege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Matsego. Good afternoon. South Africa's Valterra Platinum says it expects its annual profit to rise by as much as 106% on the back of a record rally in platinum prices and operational cost reductions. Valterra says under its updated outlook, it expects headline earnings between $965.71 million and $1.7 billion in the year ended the 31st of December. In a statement, the company says the earnings for the period were boosted by a 26% increase in prices for the platinum group metals basket, as well as $308 million worth of operational cost reductions, which more than offset the impact of inflation and $105 million in one-off demerger-related costs. South Africa is entering 2026 with renewed investor confidence, supported by a combination of global and domestic trends. According to Citatel's latest investment outlook, this is the highest level of optimism in 30 years. Chief Investment Officer George Hammond notes, however, that the improved sentiment towards South Africa comes after years of low growth.
Our GNU has placed in some stability into our political framework, and so suddenly we are seeing some upgrades to expectations for growth in South Africa, as some of our structural impediments on energy and logistics are slowly but surely showing signs of improvement.
Nissan Motors says it will sell its manufacturing assets in Rosslyn, South Africa, to the local arm of China's Chery Automobile for an undisclosed sum. Chery SA will buy the land, buildings and associated assets of Nissan's facilities in mid-2026 if conditions including regulatory approvals are met by then. Production of the Navara pickup truck, the plant's only model, will end in May if the deal goes ahead. The model is made for the local market and exported to several countries, mainly in Africa. The move is part of Nissan's ongoing turnaround plan, under which it is closing or consolidating 7 plants. In other news, Australia's internet safety regulator says social media companies do not want the country's ban on under-16s using platforms to work in case other countries follow suit. Julie Inman Grant says children have been an incredibly lucrative market for tech firms. The BBC's Katie Watson has the details.
Julie Inman Grant admitted that standing up to big tech companies with deep pockets could be intimidating, and she said she received regular death threats. But just over a month into Australia's social media ban for the under-16s, she's not deterred. Recent data released by the e-Safety Commission shows that in the first 2 days of the ban, 4.7 million accounts were closed on the 10 platforms targeted by the legislation, which include YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat.
TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance says it has finalized a deal to establish a majority American-owned joint venture that will secure U.S. data to avoid a U.S. ban on the short video app used by over 200 million Americans. The deal is a milestone for the social media firm after years of battles that began in August 2020 when President Donald Trump tried to ban the app over national security concerns. Trump later opted not to enforce a law passed in April 2024 requiring ByteDance to sell its U.S. assets by the following January or face a ban, a measure upheld by the Supreme Court. Now let's have a look at financial indicators. $1 in Nigeria is 1,420 naira, Botswana 13 pula 20, Kenya 128 shilling 29, Zambia 19 kwacha 97. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 307, Russia 72 rubles 22, India 91 rupee 58, China 6 yuan 97, South Africa 16 rand 20 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is at $4,914, platinum at $2,634 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil $64.65 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Téléchargez l'application Channel Africa sur votre Play Store ou Apple Store afin de pouvoir suivre toutes nos émissions en direct de là où vous vous trouvez. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
Well, DJ Lane has a brand new hit out on any good quality digital platform, so check it out. It's titled Walala Wasala. Such a big hit, man. Featuring Nelly from Soweto, so it's definitely worth supporting and spread the good news about the brand new hit. Speaking of DJ Lane, he is standing by with a mix exclusive for The Upside.
No sides, none whatsoever. We are The Upside.
Coming through with DJ Lane in the mix. Okay, now I officially just want to come up with a gathering so that I can invite him to DJ. But listen, if you'd like to book him for an event or any gathering that's happening in this year, make sure you get your bookings in before he gets fully booked, okay? So at DJ Lane across the platforms, you can just Google him. All his social media platforms should be able to appear. So Lady Zama is preparing to unveil Emperor Eclipse Realm Awakening. This is a project that signals a very defining chapter in her artistic journey as a musician. We're going to speak to her in this hour. Let's take the news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mateko. Looking at your top stories. Uganda's military chief detains opposition supporters and talks between Russia and the U.S. delegation on ending the war in Ukraine. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Uganda's military chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba has reported today that authorities have detained 2,000 opposition supporters, killed 30 and were hunting for more following a disputed presidential election in which his father, Yoweri Museveni, won a 7th term. Museveni, who is 81, who has led the East African nation for nearly 4 decades, was declared to have resoundingly defeated leader of the opposition National Unity Platform Party, Bobi Wine, in the January 15 vote. In a series of overnight social media posts, the military chief, who is Museveni's son, gave the first details of the arrests and killings of NUP supporters, describing them as hooligans and terrorists. Flash flooding is affecting parts of Zimbabwe, Mozambique and South Africa. This has led to food insecurity and widespread relocation amongst vulnerable communities. With fatalities being reported in these countries, Mozambique has suffered the most. As all impacted nations prepare for difficult times ahead, the WFP country director for Zimbabwe, Barbara Clemens, has called on aid organizations and the private sector to assist with disaster planning in order to safeguard communities, crops, animals, and vital infrastructure.
We also want to close with an appeal to our partners, our donors, private sector, and investors that, there is a gap. We hope to have reached over 538,000 individuals, but we're going to be falling short. We're only going to be able to assist 200,000, and we are already hearing that there are pockets of flooding in locations that will make even more people vulnerable than what was originally assessed in late 2025.
South Africa's Department of Home Affairs has held a public consultation workshop into the draft revised white paper on citizenship, immigration and refugee protection. Today, the consultation forms part of a national process to allow stakeholders and members of the public to comment on proposed policy and legal reforms aimed at addressing gaps in legislation governing citizenship, civil registration, immigration and refugee protection. The program included a presentation on the draft white paper by senior officials from the department, followed by open discussions where participants made inputs and recommendations. The engagements were key to ensuring the revised policy framework is responsive to current migration and governance challenges. The defense in the trial of 3 people accused of stealing more than $580,000 in South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phalaphala farm has argued that findings by the cell phone data analyst are inaccurate as they can be edited. Emanuela David's lawyer Cohen Matlala told the Modimolle Regional Court in the Limpopo province that the analyst used an Excel spreadsheet that can be edited when capturing David's cell phone tower mapping. David and his co-accused are on trial for theft they allegedly committed in February 2020. Matlala explains.
From what we see now, talk about sorting and filtering. When you did this screenshot, do you type anything here when you're sorting?
No, I did not type anything here, Your Worship.
So I'm asking this because from an ordinary eye, my ordinary eye, since this has been mastered, it has been filtered in a way to put this number on the side, whereas other numbers are aligned.
No, that's not true, Your Worship.
Lastly, the Kremlin has described nearly 4 hours of talks with a senior U.S. delegation on ending the war in Ukraine as extremely informative, constructive, frank and trusting. An aide to President Vladimir Putin stressed there could be no hope of a long-term settlement, however, without, as he puts it, resolving the territorial issues. The BBC's Vitaly Shezhvenko explains.
Vladimir Putin keeps saying that Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, is illegitimate, suggesting that he wants him gone, suggesting that Russia wants some kind of influence on the Ukrainian political system. So while all these people from Ukraine, America and Russia saying that it's Donbass they're going to be talking about in Abu Dhabi today and tomorrow, I think we're best advised to remember that Russia's appetites go much, much further than that.
Recapping on your top stories, Uganda's military chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba has reported today that authorities have detained 2,000 opposition supporters, killed 30, and were still hunting for more following a disputed presidential election in which his father, Yoweri Museveni, won a 7th term. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It's gone exactly 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with me, Tebogo Kuleni, and Matsheko Mosito. We are wrapping up our MSC Cruise, our 5-day MSC Cruise. We are at the Durban Harbour at the moment, and I'll wrap it up nicely for you at just before we end the show this afternoon. But catch us live on all social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, where we are streaming live. And do yourself a favor, download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. Matsheko Mosito, I'm excited to listen in on your conversation with Lady Zama. She's on a new journey. She's got a new body of work coming out. That sounds exciting.
It sounds really exciting. It looks like she's been working very hard with regards to her new work that she titles Emperor Eclipse Realm Awakening. It sounds like something worth noteworthy. And also it's going to be launching on the 29th of this month. So we're going to look at, where she is in her musical journey. She's one of those women that are constantly evolving. So it's going to be quite exciting.
I'm looking forward to that conversation. It's coming up next, and I had a good laugh, Matsheko, because I came across a post from Zwandile. I don't know if you know of Zwandile. Zwandile is Anthony Hamilton. They gave him the name Zwandile not so long ago because he's always in South Africa, that one. He's coming back. He's coming back on the 28th of February. He will be at the ICC here in Durban to perform, because he clearly cannot get enough of South Africa. He's titled it Soulful Night South Africa. Should we just give him citizenship once and for all?
That's if he doesn't have it already. That's if he hasn't acquired it. Mzwandile Ngubeni. But no, I take that back. Mzwandile Ngubeni is a very good friend of mine. I take that back.
Listen, it's gone 8 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Our conversation with Lady Zama is coming up next.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Debukholi Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
We've been friends for long. It's time that you choose a friend for life or a lover tonight. I've seen the way you stare in your gentle way. You're my samurai in your silly sweet way. I sacrifice for it. No matter what you tell me, I'll be down for it. I know it's a game. I sacrifice for it. All the crazy fights and drunken nights, I'm down for it. Cause it's all just a game. Truth or dare, baby, can you even play? See now you did bust my brain, oh no. Take it from one thing to another, from friends to lovers. Can we play Russian roulette? Truth or dare, baby, can you even play? See now you did bust my brain, oh no. Take it from one thing to another, from friends to lovers. Can we play Russian roulette? Give me like feeling the way you got me feeling. While I go be plenty when you let your papa see me. You colonize my head, oh, the water to my burrito. And every time you call me, you just sweet in me well, oh. Now this moment of truth to figure out, should I show you or lose you? Are we more than friends? Do I gamble with this chance in this game of hide and seek? Truth or dare, baby, can you even play? See now you did bust my brain, oh no. Take it from one thing to another, from friends to lovers. Can we play Russian roulette? Truth or dare, baby, can you even play? See now you did bust my brain, oh no. Take it from one thing to another, from friends to lovers. Can we play Russian roulette? Russian roulette. Oh, Russian roulette. Oh, Russian roulette. Oh, Russian roulette. Oh.
The Upside, live and real.
Music by Lady Zamar coming through, and she is said to be preparing to unveil Emperor Eclipse Realm Awakening, and this is a project that has been described to signal a defining chapter in her artistic journey and a meaningful moment for Southern African music. So we're going to catch up with her. We're going to find out about how she has been thinking and feeling about the music ahead of the release and the launch that is set to take place on the 29th of January.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa. 60 years of broadcasting Africa to the world. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tebogo and Mateko on the upside.
Darling, I saw your grumpy while you were waiting on the side of the road. Oh my darling, I wanna please you. Your eyes said it all when you looked up at me. And in my heart you're stirring these feelings inside me. I cannot deny it. Oh, you the flow. Tell me what your formula be. I will not deny it. Fine, boy, would you come my way? Come my way, would you come my way? Baby, would you come my way? Wanna take you far away. Yeah. Boy, would you come my way? Come my way, would you come my way? Baby, would you come my way? Wanna take you far away. Usually girls don't talk. I am not the type, you know. Usually girls don't talk. I am not the type, you know. Usually girls don't talk. I am not the type, you know. Usually girls don't talk. I am not the type, you know. Let me give you testimony. Put me on the edge and now I'm falling. We gon' push this love just like a trolley. My love for you being so hot like coffee. Now you got me thinking matrimony. Ain't nobody do me like you do me. Boy, you put the spell up on me. I wanna put the spotlight on you. Oh my baby, I'm trying hard to be the man I'm needing, the man of my dreams. Oh my angel, with you there's nothing I can't do. I'm stuck with you and I won't let go. You're a man above me. In my heart you're stirring these feelings inside me. I cannot deny it. Oh, you the flow past money. Tell me what your formula be. I will not deny it. Fine, boy, would you come my way? Come my way, would you come my way? Baby, would you come my way? Wanna take you far away. Yeah. Boy, would you come my way? Come my way, would you come my way? Baby, would you come my way?
18 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Beautiful music coming through by Lady Zama, Come My Way. And before that we had Russian Roulette, or Roulette rather. Now, Lady Zama is stepping into a bold new chapter. Later this month, she unveils Emperor Eclipse Realm Awakening. Was it Realm 1 Awakening? A project that marks her first Afrobeats-led body of work and positions her voice firmly within a wider continental conversation without losing the emotional depth and identity that truly defines her artistry. Introduced at a private Johannesburg launch on the 29th of January 2026, this song or this project. It will be not just designed for quick hits, but for full immersion. Rather than a collection of singles, Realm 1 Awakening is a complete listening experience unfolding with intention, sequence, and emotional range. And Matseko Mosito is going to have a conversation with Lady Zamar to fully unpack this new body of work, and I am listening in, as should you.
All right, 19 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African time. Let's take a quick break and return with Lady Zamar.
6 decades strong, Channel Africa continues to inspire Africa and the world, proudly sharing
the African perspective.
Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can get it on the upside.
We are celebrating Lady Zamar as she prepares to unveil Emperor Eclipse Realm Awakening. I love that title. Oh my goodness, can't wait to find out what the new project is about before she unveils it for the rest of the African continent to hear. I believe that a private launch has been organized for the tail end of January. So 29th of January is when the project will be officially launching. But it is a pleasure to catch up with her this afternoon. Lady Zamar, welcome to Channel Africa. Happy 2026.
Hi, how are you? Happy 2026.
I'm good. You've got such a beautiful, vibrant, sweet energy. Wonderful to talk to you. I think before we talk about the new project, let's just talk about the journey. We just played Come My Way, and it features Ja Praiser, as I understand it. I can hear in the music that it's you. But you have evolved quite a bit, man. You have grown, you have evolved. So let's talk about just your musical journey and a build up to where we are now.
Well, Come Away does not have Ja Praiser, but the song that we did together, In a Way, which premiered on the 9th of January, is the one that we have together.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this entire preparation, I guess, of unveiling Realm 1 has just been about exploring Africa's continental sounds, one of which is Afrobeats, and having listened to Afrobeats extensively for the entire lockdown, which is a horrible time to remember, and most of post-COVID, which is like 2023, 2024, I decided to just kind of get into that. And that was like a fun thing for me.
Okay. I think it's exciting to also note in your evolution that this is your first Afrobeats-led project. So what drew you to that point in the journey?
I think I've done a lot of different types of African music,
Mm-hmm.
African pop, global pop. I have done spoken beat. I've done a little bit of piano on my previous project. And I felt like, you know what? Afrobeats is such a big sound, and I would be remiss if I did not contribute to it somehow. Years down the line, we are left with the songs that we made as artists, and that's the legacies that we leave behind. And that's part of the legacy that I want to leave. I did not want to pivot into Afrobeats and become an Afrobeats artist, but I really wanted to contribute to this amazing genre by creating something really special, hence the title Emperor Eclipse.
Okay, if you've just started listening, we are speaking to Lady Zamar ahead of the release of her brand new project. And we played Russian Roulette, we played Come My Way in this half hour. So let us know what you think of the music. As I listened to Come My Way, which is still lingering in my mind, actually such a beautiful song, I can hear that there is Afrobeat. And as I'd mentioned, I can hear that there's still an unmistakable Lady Zamar signature in there. How did you keep your signature, if I can call it that, intact in this new chapter?
I try not to be like other people. I like to draw inspiration from the things around me, the musicians around me, but I try by all means to never try to be like anyone but myself. So how I express, how I enunciate, I like to keep that as authentic as possible. I do train my voice quite a lot. So one of the things in vocal training that they teach you is to use what you have, use who you are, and that's how you remain consistent. When you try to morph into other beings and other people, then that's where the problem, comes. So when it comes to that, I try vocally to keep it simple, clean. When it comes to how I tell my stories, I like to tell stories like I'm writing a story to someone who's listening. It's not just about expression for me. It's not just about let me tell you how I feel, but it's more like I want you to hear it the way I understand it. I want you to hear it the way I see it. And so I like to tell stories from third person. I like to tell stories from a personal perspective. I like my choruses to create a feeling of what the song summarizes, for me. And a lot of people, I find, draw so much more from the way I tell stories than if I was to try and do it in any other way. Too simple, too complicated, Because even I lose concentration when I listen to artists who try to make things too deep, and it's like, oh, not me.
Right. Okay, well, that's an interesting approach, and it's working for you. It's clearly working well for you. But just on that note around inspiration, you mentioned that you draw inspiration, but you still are able to keep your own signature intact. Who is inspiring you, or what is inspiring you currently?
Two interesting people that inspire me are The Weeknd and Lady Gaga, primarily because they are able to morph each and every time. You don't ever hear the same project twice, It's always like a different thing that comes to the table. And I think I've always been intrigued and tried to figure out, like, how do they do that? How do they maintain that uniqueness that is them, but at the same time constantly tap into different ways of saying the same thing or different ways of presenting their artistry to the world. In Africa, I think I really love Wiz. Wiz is like, he's so cool. Like, he's just such a cool artist. And I love how every single song that Wizkid does is different. There's nothing that sounds like another song.
Yeah.
And he maintains his identity throughout. You can hear a Wizkid song from a mile away, but at the same time, it never sounds like the first one you heard. So that's really cool.
That is pretty cool. Such an awesome observation. You mentioned that you worked with Job Praiser on Anywhere Where and other, wonderful people. So talk to us about, just some of the people that you'd like to acknowledge that you worked with on this brand new project and how they are part of just the function or larger emotional arc of the album.
Okay, so first of all, big shout out to producer Andy Beats. He's amazing. He makes sure that he gets the best out of most artists that he works with. I worked with June 5th and Kwan. They helped me kind of like put some of my thoughts on paper and some of the things that I was lost with, because it's a new genre. So I kind of had people just help me out sometimes when things were getting muddy, That's also something I've learned, to collaborate more with writers and producers and composers. It's been really fun. And then I've also worked with a person called Good. His name is very interesting. KOT. He actually helped us a lot with the interludes that are in the project. He was amazing with that. And Io, he's a pianist that I've worked with. I've worked with Lucky. He's also a pianist that I've worked with. In terms of the artists that I collaborated with, there's Josh Too Funny. He's actually a Nigerian comedian. He's such a great personality. He brought such a different energy to the song called Losing Sleep that everyone will hear next week, Friday. Then there's Fido. Fido, I think he's one of the biggest like Nigerian up and coming artists right now. He did the song called Joy Is Coming that everybody's, so crazy about. And around the time when that song was popping, me and him were having conversations and we got together on this called Show Me. And that's been quite an experience, quite an amazing, amazing experience. And then lastly, we got Ja Preza. Literally, it was just one of those collaborations where he was initially supposed to be on Come My Way. We were thinking of having like a remake of the song, and we were deciding how to go about it. But then after meeting him and his unique energy and his unique way and perspective on music, we just decided, like, let's do a brand new song. And I think with him, one of the things I enjoyed the most was he really understands what I was trying to achieve with the song. He understood almost intuitively what the basis had to be. And so he created with me, and we made this song about this eternal type of love that is given to you by God, and I think for me, because I love speaking about love so much, it was just such a beautiful closure to the project to say, hey, we are done with what Emperor Eclipse Realm 1 Awakening is supposed to be. As you noticed, the naming of the album is also very specific, which we can get into later.
Okay. It's just so unfortunate. We have run out of time, Lady Zamar, but I think this is wonderful. You've taken the leap into Afro beats. It's a new era for you and a new awakening for all of us that are going to be listening. So if we want to just find out about the launch, perhaps the tour, album tour and everything else that's happening, where can we find you?
Well, if you guys want to check out the launch, it is invite only. I hope you guys are RSVPing.
Yeah.
And every other thing, there is my social media pages, which is Lady_Zamar on X, on Instagram, and then there's Lady Zamar as it is. All my accounts are verified besides my TikTok account. My TikTok account is official Lady Zamar. You can go check it out there. I do silly stuff and I just have fun with my socials there. And yeah, you guys can just like be part of this journey, enjoy it with me. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lady Zamar. You are a star in the galaxy. Thank you for the chat. So check out her new album, okay? It should be available on all the good digital platforms. It is 3:32.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the Sawa. So Mamelodi Sundowns veteran goalkeeper Dennis Onyango believes a haul of at least 10 points should be enough to secure qualification to the CAF Champions League knockout stages. Now he adds that the Brazilians must make their home matches count ahead of hosting Al Hilal tonight at Loftus Versfeld in the capital city Pretoria, with the two of the sides level on points and both now eager to assert control on the group. Onyango says the target is clear, but also warns that Sundowns cannot afford any slip-ups on home soil if they are to gain any decisive advantage.
I think it's exciting times for the boys because it's been a while since they've been on the pitch in terms of Champions League football. But the journey continues. As the coach said, we're still a long way to go. But the most important thing is to win our home game. That's the most important thing because Champions League, I think 10, 11 points, you're guaranteed qualification to the knockout stages.
Meanwhile, Al Hilal have been playing in the Rwandan League due to the instability in their native Sudan, and Onyango believes that's part of what makes them a threat.
I think what makes it difficult is the hunger they have, because they stay together mostly, I think, for the entire season. And it's a big team in Sudan. You must understand Al Hilal is a very big team in Sudan, and of course in Africa, because they've been in this competition for a very long time. And for them, playing home away from home pushes them to give some hope and joy to the supporters back home in Sudan. And of course, they have supporters in Rwanda, and tomorrow you'll see they'll have supporters in South Africa. But
on to some cricket news now. Former captains Babar Azam and Shaheen Afridi have returned to Pakistan's T20 squad for their 3-match home series against Australia starting next week Thursday, their final bilateral fixture before the next month's 20-over World Cup. Azam missed the 3-match series against Sri Lanka as he was playing in Australia's domestic Big Bash League. The 31-year-old ended his BBL campaign prematurely to join the national camp. So Afridi had also suffered a knee injury while playing in the BBL just last month. Pakistan will play 3 matches against Australia in Lahore until the 1st of February. The 2009 champions will then begin their Group A campaign in the T20 World Cup in Colombo against the Netherlands. That's on the 7th of February. On to some tennis news now. Cameron Norrie lost out to Alexander Zverev in the Australian Open third round to end the British interest in the singles in Melbourne. Now, Norrie produced an inspired second set but was ultimately beaten 7-5, 4-6, 6-3 and 6-1 by the world number 3, the German Zverev. Now, Norrie is no stranger to carrying home hopes with the 4th consecutive Grand Slam in which he has been the last Brit standing in the singles. However, the British number 2 always faced an uphill task, having lost all 6 of their previous tour-level meetings prior to their 2025 Australian Open third round match. Meanwhile, American 18-year-old Eva Jovic pulled off the biggest upset of her young career when she stunned Italian 7th seed Yasmin Paolini 6-2 and 7-6 at the Australian Open earlier today to earn her first Grand Slam last 16 appearance. The 29-year-old, the 29-seeded player turned the tables on Paolini, who had beaten her in last year's Indian Wells tournament, as well as a US Open, to claim her maiden victory over a top 10 player and also extend her tour leading winning streak to 10 matches in 2026. Meanwhile, Alex de Minaur underlined his credentials as a leading home favourite as the Australian Open continued earlier on today, securing a 6-3, 6-4, 7-5 win over the American 29th-seeded player Francis Taifo to reach the 4th round for a 5th successive year. Now, the 6th seed was quite efficient in his victory, ensuring that he became only the 2nd Australian man in the professional era to go on such a streak after John Newcombe, who reached the last 16 at a tournament that was between 1969 and 1976. De Minaur came into the clash on the Rod Laver Arena having won 3 of his 4 matches with a hard-hitting Taifo, but the 26-year-old also had to weather the storm to serve in the 7th game before breaking in the next and surging ahead. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, do send us an email. That's to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Across Africa, communities rise with the promise of clean water and clean sanitation. The African Union's 2026 theme calls us to action.
It's about mobilizing real commitments, securing climate-resilient water and sanitation projects, and ensuring that water becomes a driver of sustainable development and prosperity across the continent.
A landmark moment, not only for Africa, but for the global movement for access to safe water for all.
Assuring sustainable water availability for every home, every village, every nation. This is the Africa we want.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
22 minutes to go till it's 4 p.m. in Central African time. Let's go straight to the business desk with Chandugo Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Matseko. Good afternoon. Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama has criticized Africa's long-standing habit of exporting raw materials while retaining little of their value. This as he addressed the media at the World Economic Forum currently taking place in Davos, Switzerland. Mahama says many African countries are caught in what he calls a triple dependency, relying on external powers for security decisions, health and education systems while exporting critical minerals with little value added at home.
We depend on donors for our health and educational systems. We supply the world's critical minerals but capture almost none of its value. This isn't sovereignty, it's a trap. The COVID experience was a wake-up call. Africa was the last continent to begin receiving vaccines amid a global pandemic.
The African Export-Import Bank terminated its relationship with credit ratings firm Fitch due to what it says it was a firm belief that the agency's rating approach no longer reflected an understanding of the bank's mission and mandate. Fitch cut Afreximbank's credit rating to one notch above junk status last year and has it on negative outlook, rating agency terminology for another downgrade warning. That outlook, Fitch says, reflected a worry that debt owed to Afreximbank might end up getting restructured in yet-to-be finalized debt reworks in countries such as Ghana and Zambia. South Africa is entering 2026 with renewed investor confidence supported by a combination of global and domestic trends. According to Citatel's latest investment outlook, this is the highest level of optimism in 30 years. Chief Investment Officer George Herman notes, however, that the improved sentiment towards South Africa comes after years of low growth.
Our GNU has placed in some stability into our political framework, and so suddenly we are seeing some upgrades to expectations for growth in South Africa as some of our structural impediments on energy and logistics are slowly but surely showing signs of improvement.
South Africa's Valterra Platinum says it expects its annual profit to rise by as much as 106% on the back of a record rally in platinum prices and operational cost reductions. Valterra says under its updated outlook, it expects headline earnings between $965.71 million and $1.07 billion in the year ended December the 31st. In a statement, the company says the earnings for the period were boosted by a 26% increase in prices for the platinum group metals basket, as well as $308 million worth of operational cost reductions, which more than offset the impact of inflation, and $105 million in one-off demerger-related costs. Australia's internet safety regulator says social media companies do not want the country's ban on under-16s using platforms to work in case other countries follow suit. Julie Inman-Grant says children have been an incredibly lucrative market for tech firms. The BBC's Katie Watson has the details.
Julie Inman-Grant admitted that standing up to big tech companies with deep pockets could be intimidating, and she said she received regular death threats. But just over a month into Australia's social media ban for the under-16s, she's not deterred. Recent data released by the eSafety Commission shows that in the first 2 days of the ban, 4.7 million accounts were closed on the 10 platforms targeted by the legislation, which include YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,420 naira, Botswana 13 pula 20, Kenya 128 shilling 29, Zambia 19 kwacha 97. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5.307, Russia 72 rubles 22, India 91 rupee 58, China 6 yuan 97, South Africa 16 rand 20, $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is trading at $4,936, platinum at $2,706 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil, $65.24 a barrel. That's all for now. For any stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Stay tuned to Channel Africa. Stream us on our new and updated website, channelafrica.co.za. Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The U.S. is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa. The African perspective. The music that talks to your soul. On Channel Africa. The African perspective. The Upside, live and real.
Alhamdulillah, you're mine. I love you, wallahi, wallahi. You want the vacation, baby? Come to Dubai, Dubai. I'ma uje bombo Kilimanjaro, one in Masai, Masai. I want you, I love you, man. I want you, caught in a China, China. Ooh, nana, you're so pretty, nana. When you shake your nana, I wanna touch your nana. You're so beautiful. Cute face just like your mama. Kiuno, nataka kiuno na ichoka kupa mama. Eti nataka aki. We got strong bonding, baby you're my zombie. I go bite your neck, still I fight, baby I'm your zombie.
And just like that, the voyage softens into memory. The sea that carried us begins to fade behind the ship's wake. Still restless, still honest, just a lot more quieter now than it has been over the past few days. The clouds rarely lifted, but somehow they didn't need to. Because journeys like this don't end when you dock. They settle in you. In the pauses you allow yourself, in the calm you remember is possible, in the quiet courage to slow down and simply be. Now, as the horizon closes and land slowly calls us back, we take one last breath of salt air, grateful, grounded, and changed in small but meaningful ways. From the water, from the stillness, from the space between movement and reflection, this has been the upside at sea. And sometimes the most beautiful arrivals begin with a gentle goodbye. To the MSC crew and your hospitality, the Channel Africa team with me here in Durban, Tsulu, Talent, Nombuyiselo, Big Daddy Black. To the Channel Africa team in Johannesburg, Matseko, Puleng, Wiseman, Modise, Tumelo, Mondli, PK, Wendy, Sfiso, Valerie, Vutivi, Renilwe, thank you for making this an unforgettable broadcast. Stay tuned as we throw forward now and hand over the mic to the Queen of Africa in business, that is Tami Ngubeni. But from us here in Durban, we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
60 years of Channel Africa, your trusted voice, your African perspective into the future. As the sun rises on 2026, Channel Africa celebrates with you. This year, may prosperity flow like water. May unity strengthen our nations. And may every African story inspire the world.
Channel Afrique vous accompagne dans cette célébration. Que l'espoir illumine notre continent.
Que as vozes de África repousem com orgulho.
Ustawi na ufanisi na vitiririke kama maji.
From all of us at Channel Africa, we wish you and yours a joyful, successful, and prosperous 2026.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
No interruptions, just the music you love on Channel Africa.
When it's time to focus on you, I will. But right now, I just really need to get on my feet. Oh, cause when I bleed, you don't really see me. You're never thinking about me. I'm your shield and your protector, darling. When do you protect me? You cannot reciprocate. Can I be on your case? So, but to me, I won't wait. I have all that I need in my ja. If not for Jah, I would on die. There's no one to blame but me. If I decide to trust in him, I now rely on Jah. In my ja. If not for Jah, I would on die. Ja. The way your light goes out and you're looking for me, baby. Your disguise is beautiful. And if I knew that you were my kryptonite, oh, I would have deserted you. Oh, baby. Seeing is deceiving, oh, it's deceiving. Oh, baby. Only God can save you now. You cannot reciprocate. Can I be on your case? But to me, I won't wait. I have all that I need in my job. If not for Jah, I would on die. There's no one to blame but me. If I decide to trust in him, I'm not relying on Jah. I'll Jah.
The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
I'm power high, moya, oh halalela.
lefatsheng lena ka morero le sepheo ka moao a mpha batswadi ba lerato ke motlotlo ka bona ba mpontsha tsela ba ntataisa ba nsupisa mo nneteleng teng ba re hona o tla fihla mo o yang teng ba re na le nna o tla fihla mo ke yang teng le nna ke tla fihla mo ke yang teng le nna ke lo fihla ke ne ke sa tsebe hore mona ke lefatsheng masisapelo a hlasela o sa lebella ke ne ke sa tsebe hore mona ke lebaleng la ntwa le hlolang fela ke lerumo la moya ho fumana pholoso ke ho latela la hae lentswe le reng ke nna tsela le nnete le bophelo mefokolong ya ka o mpha matla mohau wa ntatela lefifing ke na kganya ere le nna ke tla fihla mo ke yang teng le nna ke lo fihla mo ke yang teng le nna ke lo fihla mo ke yang teng le nna
I think this is the perfect way to wrap up the upside, man, with just a wonderful prayer-like, affirmation that you too will get there wherever it is that you want to go, using it as a metaphor. Malay coming through with some beautiful Southern African sounds, which means I too will get there. I too will arrive in the Sesotho language. Thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure actually to bring you this very interesting broadcast with Deboho being on the cruise ship and myself in studio. As I understand it, he should be back in studio on Monday, so please tune in then. We're back again as per Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. In the next 2 minutes, a news bulletin will be coming through with Onele Nzinzi, and straight after that, Tami Ngubeni, Africa in Business, the Friday edition. Cheers.
Father set me free from the shackles of my haters. Spent 200K on the watch, not for flex, motivation and purpose. He set a table before me to showcase all my blessings. I did guidance for the trot back at the scheme, I did plot. And now it's pushed to start. Back to back, I did make them mad. And there's no denial, nobody had that. The way I did me, I did on top. Private room for Louis Vuitton. 5-star, no be nickname, give me the money. Over the fame. See what we done. No be wallpaper, we they live this life. If you bring bad vibes, I go exit chat to you alive. that's how we dey show working every dance they go till eternity.